resource person in the person of Hajia Hawa Suleiman right there. You've got something that is bothering your mind that you want to ask, her. You can do that via the studio lines 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. And the WhatsApp portal number is well open for you to have your say on it, and that will be 0909 705 4450. And then we've got some conversation that is trending from the place of it is said that cleanliness is next to godliness, but then it seems as though many Nigerians, especially in this time, are throwing caution to the wind, and because of one situation or one challenge or the other. In that regard, what would be your advice, Ajia, to the Nigerian populace in terms of what we prioritize, what we should prioritize, for better living?
Oh, generally?
Yes, generally.
Oh, okay. My advice to Nigerians is we should behavior change, I think, is the major thing. If you are used to something big, please just try to calm down somewhat. You don't need to continue with something big. By that I mean, if you are used to eating something because of the situation of the country now, if you are used to eating something that will cost you in a month, that will cost probably 200,000, you cut it down to like 75,000, then you have a better living. You don't need to bother yourself that you must do it. And I advise my children, we don't need to take our children to a very expensive private school.
Right.
Our Nigerian schools are good. I know that in this FCT. I told my children, remember, I sent you people to command secondary school, and you guys are good today. You are a very good product, and those schools are still good. Must you take your child to a very expensive private school? They are looking at me. So let's cut our costs according to our sizes, and then we'll have a better living. We don't need to force ourselves that we must do what that person did. Our fingers are not cut the same size,
Okay.
So when we do what we are supposed to do at that time and at our own level, at our own perfect size, I think we live a good life. Sometimes we force ourselves, and then government too is doing good things for us. When you go, the only thing is when somebody is sick, when you go to a government hospital, you will get the right treatment. You meet our doctors, you meet our healthcare providers, they will take care of you.
Is this free of charge?
Most of the treatment we have the insurance, the health insurance scheme, so close to being free. There are things that are free. You see, there is primary healthcare insurance.
That's right.
Scheme for smaller children. Mm-hmm. That is for 0 to 5 years. That is for 0 to 5 years. So when you go to, there are things that when you go to, like immunizations are free. That is one. But if you go to private school and private hospital, the immunization is not free. But if you go to government primary healthcare hospital or tertiary hospital, government immunization is free. And when you go there there are some certain infectious diseases that if you see signs and symptoms, you don't take yourself to in FCT up to now. If you contact the COVID, we still have some drugs where it's free.
Okay.
Our hospital, government hospital, as it is confirmed, they give you free drugs. So, but if you go to private hospital, that means you have money. You are suffering yourself. That is, if you don't have money, you go there and start thinking, okay, where do I borrow? They say I need to pay for something thousand, something. Our tests we still do COVID tests in FCT. You come to our lab, it's free. It's still free. We still give COVID vaccine. It's still free. So, like I said, you cut your cost. If you don't want to suffer yourself, the government are still providing things that are free. Education is still free. If you go to our government schools, the FCT here, I know other states are there too because the governors are trying. In FCT here, you need to go to our classes and see what the teachers are doing.
Right.
Everything is there. It's free.
Okay, so that being said, I have also come to realize based on published articles that about 80% of people who become infected with Lassa virus have no symptoms. And I'd like you to add your voice to that one. And that 1 in 5 infections result in severe disease where the virus affects certain organs, such as the liver, the spleen, and the kidneys. But then there is something that I want you to throw some light to into as well, and that would be what they call the incubation period.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Most of these infectious diseases, the incubation periods sometimes between 1 to 2 weeks. Some of them, like the Lassa fever and the rest, like with the COVID, is just within 5, 6, 7 days. That's 1 week. But like you said, because some of the symptoms don't show on time. One of the reasons why the symptoms people don't exhibit the symptoms like that is that's one of it's attributed to this sort of medication.
Oh, okay.
Because as they are feeling it, they don't. Let me give you an example. Now we've been telling people that once you start feeling feverish condition, don't just assume that you have fever, malaria fever or typhoid fever. You go to the hospital, you take a test. They'll give you there's the rapid test. They'll give you a test. If it shows positive, then they will now tell you to start treatment with for the fever. So now by the time somebody is feeling some of these signs and symptoms and is taking self-medication at home, antibiotics, all those paracetamol, is suppressing the symptoms. You may not exhibit the symptoms.
Oh.
And there's possibility that is one of the reasons why the organs are being affected. Because as you are suppressing the symptoms, the major treatment is not being done. The virus is affecting those major vital organs in your body. You understand? And it's like we say, we always tell them it's behavior change. That thing is part of us here in Nigeria, especially in communities. People just go and just start treatment. You can start treatment, whether traditionally, some people believe, okay, let me join this app, join this app, and start taking it to suppress this malaria. It's stress. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody may even think it's a stress, let him just take this to go, let him just take this. So it's one of the major reasons that they don't exhibit the signs and symptoms.
Okay.
And again, like I said, people have different immunity. Somebody with high immunity may not exhibit signs and symptoms on time.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that feels good. You can still join the conversation right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Remember, this is the Eagles Outlook, where you can get to, add your voice on topical issues that affect us as humans. 0907-353-0044 is that number to call. The other number is 0908-766-8888. You can reach us via the WhatsApp portal and share your thoughts on the topical issue that brought us around Lassa fever, as well as preventive measures, knowing the symptoms, and of course knowing how to take care of yourself in times like this. That will be 0909-705-4450. Isiaka from Area 1 says, good morning. Good morning to you too, Isiaka. It says, okay, this is not so clear, Isiaka. You might want to rephrase the message again. It's not so clear. All right. Okay. Okay. I think I get it now. All right. Okay. I think I get it. All right. So I think what Isiaka is really asking is, like COVID, right? Like COVID-19 that we went through, it was said that it was airborne, right? And Isiaka is asking if Lassa fever too is airborne.
Oh, okay. No, Lassa fever is not airborne, like I said. It's when you come in contact with the virus, it's direct. It's not like COVID that is airborne.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Some people have shared some thoughts that the most common complication of Lassa fever is deafness. Is that a statement of fact, or is that false?
Yeah, it could be. It's a fact. I think it's a fact because, like I said, one of the signs and symptoms is severe headache. I know when somebody has severe headache, that dizziness kind of sets in. So there is possibility. It's one of the most common this thing. Yes.
All right, quite a great possibility right there about Lassa fever in the country. Well, a conversation is trending, and I'm sure that as you listen right there, you're already beginning to have some insight to knowing that there are there are some things that are more important too, as well as important as what we face in our daily lives, and Lassa fever might just be one of it. Did I just use the word might? No, Lassa fever is one of it. And some of the issues that we face today is mostly health. I mean, if you look at, the country today and what is going on, you will discover that there are more people, with health issues. If it is not the usual health issue, it could be mental health. It could be a lot of issues. And that's why once or twice or once or more, one too many time, we bring topical issues like this and bring great resource persons to have this conversation with you. But Hajia, I'd like to get on to that story of yours. You said you were going to share just a little bit of story with us.
Yes, I will share. That story was, like I told you, we went to one of our community markets just to buy some things. Mm-hmm. So we bought beans and maize. So we bought a lot of things. So I think we forgot. We were dropping it where we buy them, so that when we finish, we pack everything and move. Mm-hmm. So we now forgot the beans. So by the time we reached almost home, we now remember. Then I now insisted I must go back. This thing happened last year last 2 years, because it was almost fasting period, and I bought a lot of beans and I wanted to use it, and it was just 2 days to fasting. Yeah. So I now went back. So when I went back, luckily I collected the guy's number, because I bought the beans very cheap from him. So I was impressed. I said, okay, give me your number. Next time I'm coming to the market, I will call you. So I now called him. He said, yes, it was there, but he had dropped it where they usually pack when they have finished for the day. Mm. So when I reached there, we called him. He now gave us another person's number to call. When we called that guy, when he opened that place, the place was an uncompleted building. If you see the number, I've never in my life seen the number of rodents that I saw. And they were all on top of those. So all the foods that were stored there, it was gari, rice, beans, all the dry products that you can think of. One part there was cassava, there was plantain, there was yam, and all those rodents, big ones. I ran away. I left the beans for them. I couldn't let that beans, and it was close to 15 moody. The guy was saying, Jacob, I said, no, I will not collect this today. I had to buy another one the next day at another market, because I was afraid. I was really afraid that maybe they must have entered there, and the rodents must have done that. And then I watched a documentary where how the rodents do it. That's why I say I'm afraid of these things. They are very smart. After eating, that documentary, after the rodents have eaten in a restaurant, that's another place that we always talk to, that they should please have the highest, utmost hygiene in such places. After the rodent has finished eating, it stood there, two of the rodents stood there and were pouring their saliva inside the soup.
Inside the soup?
Can you imagine? Yes. I wish I have that clip again. I would have said it that we watched. So they were pouring their saliva inside the soup. So can you imagine when somebody now comes and pick that soup and didn't warm it properly and then just take that soup directly? Maybe the person is very hungry. Can you imagine what will happen?
Especially in Nigeria, where some persons will tell you that you should not warm the soup for too long. You might kill the nutrents and all of that.
Yes.
It's really appalling.
Like that. Those are the stories that I always share with people when I'm even giving awareness on Lassa fever. I always share these two stories. So that was the story I was telling you that I wanted to talk about.
That story is really heartbreaking. We don't want that to happen here in Nigeria, and that's why we're having this conversation to sensitize, the listener at this point. But it seems as though Nigeria records over 1,000 infections and about 219 deaths in 2023 alone. 219 deaths. And the NCDC has noted that 28 states recorded at least one confirmed case across 121 local government areas in 2023, right?
Yes, and sorry, I don't want to cut you off, and we attribute that to still people not listening, because I know the government and the health authorities are really working hard to stop such things. But when you say people, when you see this, please come out to do this, people still shy away. It's all, like I said, it all comes down to behavior change. By the time we change our behaviors and beliefs towards certain things, I think we are going to be able to come out most of this in our society, in our communities.
Well, it's even more appalling, the fact that of all the confirmed Lassa fever cases, about 77% were reported from Ondo, Edo, Bauchi states. While Ondo State was accounting for about 35%, Edo and Bauchi was recording 28 and 14% respectively. It's really sad. Somebody would say it's mostly a northern issue, but now we've seen it get into the west, and it's cutting across, the 36 states of the country, and something has to be done, and that's why something has to be done. Something has to be done. And that's why we would want to look at, this very one. Are there any current initiatives or campaigns that's focused on raising, awareness about Lassa fever?
Yes, there are. Like we in FCT, and I know we just had a meeting yesterday.
Okay.
The Nigerian State Educators, that is risk communication.
Mm-hmm.
We had it yesterday, so we are going to upscale awareness creation and sensitization across the nation, not only in the north, across the nation. And then one of the strategies is the media and community engagement. So we are going to engage the media more, and then community engagement more. We're going to go into the communities. We have our focal person, just like I tell you, we have community surveillance persons there. We have health educators there.
Right.
There's a community structures that do risk communication for us out there. So we are going to upscale awareness creation on sensitization on Lassa fever, and along with other infectious diseases of public health concern.
Okay. Well, finally, where can people go to get reliable information and assistance regarding, Lassa fever? That's one. Are there, contact number or a contact number that somebody can just very quickly reach out to? Should that person see something that seems to be one who is having symptoms of this particular virus? Is it a virus or a disease now? I think it's a virus. It's a virus. It's a virus. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ask where somebody can go to ask about it? Okay. Yeah, we have